In this video, we'll be taking a look at what monitor each pro player uses. This was a highly requested video, so I am posting it, although I debated not, just because most of their Twitch chats aren't updated. Also, it's important to consider that just because they're pro players doesn't mean they really know anything about the technical side of things. They pretty much just copy the next guy. Also, the monitor doesn't make them good. They would be good on any monitor they're playing on, at least that's up to standard. About a year or two ago, when I was looking to get a new monitor, I actually did a good amount of research into it, and I mean, I should be making a different video about this, but might as well just add it here, add as much value as possible into this video. If you're on console, I'd recommend just getting a 144 Hz Asus monitor. That's probably your best bet. As far as the monitor size, you're going to want to go with 24 inch or 27 inch. If you go with 27 inch, make sure you get 1440p. As far as the 24 inch monitors, the only brands that I would look into would be Asus, BenQ, or Acer. I think Asus is the most reliable generally, but I actually got a BenQ 360 Hz. As far as the panel, you're going to want to go with IPS or OLED, although the BenQ is TN, which I haven't had any issues with, but the colors are definitely dull compared to the IPS or OLED. Let me just add that I don't think they even make 24 inch OLEDs, so the OLED would be for the 27 inch. As far as the 24 inch though, IPS probably would be your best bet. For the 27 inch monitors, I would get Samsung or Asus. Although I do have to say I've done far less research into the 27 inch monitors, so if you have any recommendations, let us know down in the comments. I'd say that's a decent guideline to go off of if you're looking to get a new monitor though. That's pretty much all you need to know. That's a whole lot of research summed up into under a minute and 30 seconds. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because some of these other MFs, they'd be having you sitting here for 20 minutes. Finally, to get back on topic of which monitors the pros use, again, I'll be doing this like my other videos, which if you haven't seen those, I broke down what sensitivity, what controllers, all different stuff like that. But I found all of this information through their Twitch chats, and I'll be breaking it down by each CDL team. And then at the end of the video, I'll include some other top players like Scump and Biffle. Alright, first we'll start off with Optic Texas. For Shotzi, we got BenQ. The model is unknown. For Hook, this is definitely not updated because I looked up the monitor and it said it was like 60 Hz. Mercules Omen X25F. Not really sure if that's updated. Dashi, the BenQ Zoe XL whatever 540 Hz, that's definitely updated because the 540 Hz is a newer model. Next up for Boston Breach, we got Snoopy and Nasty running the Alienware 320 Hz, probably the same monitor, the AW whatever. And then Cami, the BenQ RL, I'm not sure if that's updated. I think that's an older model BenQ, so it definitely would not be. Purge, not sure, there wasn't a command for in his Twitch chat. Next up for the Falcons, we got Celium running the Omen X25 at his home setup, and then the Asus VG whatever at I don't even know where. And then one of them is on gaming mode, who knows. I'm pretty sure the Omen is the monitor that they used at LAN the past couple years, but I think they recently just switched it. For Pred, we got the Asus TUF 280 Hz. Next for Kismet, we have the Alienware 320 Hz model. I would imagine that any of these monitors on here, if it says over 300 Hz, it's probably up to date. But as far as doing my part, I'm just pulling this information from their Twitch chats, so this is the only information I have at hand. As far as XNIT, I'm not sure. He blocked me from his Twitch chat, so if any of you would want to go into his Twitch chat, type in !monitor and then comment it down below, that would be helpful. Also, since I get a comment about it every time in one of these videos about why XNIT blocked me, basically back in like MW2, I saw him getting ran through in a platinum lobby, so I was like, yo, this guy was like #1 in the top 250. He's definitely a cheater, so I went into his Twitch chat and called him a cheater. I thought maybe his cheats expired or something. Well, you know what? I ate my words now. I take that back. So next for Faze Vegas, we got Simp running the Samsung Odyssey G6 360 Hz, which that's actually a 27 inch monitor. And then a VG25 24-inch monitor, 280 Hz. So far, it seems Simp is the only person running a 27-inch monitor, which makes sense. It's kind of interesting that he does use that, just because generally when you start messing with things, whether it's the size of the monitor, stuff like that, it can mess you up. Like if he's running a 27-inch monitor at home and then goes to compete on a 24-inch, it's going to be different. For 04 and Abuza, they didn't have their Twitch chats updated, so not sure. And then for Draza, we got the Omen 240 Hz. Which again was the standard competition monitor, so he's probably changed it since then. Next up for the Carolina Royal Ravens, we got a whole mouthful for Nero and then a whole lot of nothing out of the other three. For Nero, we got the main monitor, a Sansu 24-inch gaming monitor, 300 Hz, 1440p, which is interesting. For both of these monitors, which I've never even heard of those brands, we got 24-inch with 1440p resolution. They don't really make 24-inch 1440p monitors, which to be honest I didn't even think they made them at all, but that would explain why he has these weird brands that no one's probably ever heard of. For Slasher, we got the 240 hertz BenQ. I know in the beginning right here I said that we had a whole lot of nothing out of the other three, but I actually was able to find it. Now for Cloud9, we got Afro running an Asus OLED 240 hertz. I would imagine since it says OLED, it's probably not 24 inch. So yeah, he might be another 27 incher. And then for the other three, none of them had their Twitch chat updated. It was stuff like this that made me debate even posting this video, because half of them didn't seem like they were updated and the other half weren't even there at all. Next up for Rocker, we got Estriel running an Asus VG whatever. Kremp and Mamba not there, and then Sky's an Asus PG, which I think the PG is one of the newer models. I just checked and it actually is. Not only that, it's another 27-inch monitor, so yeah, we got a third 27-incher. For Miami, whole lot of nothing. None of their Twitch chats were updated. Half of them don't even speak English. For Paris, this looks updated for the most part. We got Envoy with an Asus VG whatever, Ghosty Asus ROG Swift PG esports gaming monitor 24-inch. Neptune BenQ Zoe XL 2566. Sib, the 250 hertz Asus monitor. For Toronto Koi, nothing at a Kleenex and Riel. Joe Deceives Asus monitor, not sure if that's updated. And then again, Insight with the Omen X25, the old competitive monitor, so that's probably not updated either. Next up, Vancouver Surge. Abe and Legend do not have their Twitch command set, although Legend isn't even on the team anymore. I don't even know who replaced him, so if you know, let me know down in the comments. And then as far as Gwyn and Lunars, they both seem to be running the Alienware. Probably, I would imagine for Gwyn, it's also the 320 hertz model. Next for LA Thieves, we got a 2-and-2 situation right here. We got Scrap and Abizi both running the Omen 240 hertz monitor, which, like I said prior, is probably outdated. And then Hydra and Kenny with BenQ XL2546K 240 hertz. Right now for some of the other top players, we got Scump running a Samsung OLED G8 1SF, which seems updated. I looked it up. It's a 27-inch OLED monitor, 240 hertz. Next up, we got Parasite running a PG27 4K 240 hertz monitor. I just looked it up. It's actually an Alienware, which I would imagine for 4K Alienware might be good. I'm not really sure. Next for Havoc and Formal, neither of their Twitch chats were updated. Next for Octane, we got an Asus ROG Strix OLED gaming monitor XG27 360 hertz. And then lastly, for as far as Warzone, we got Biffle running a 1440p 27-inch ROG Swift OLED PG27, which is 480 hertz and 0.03 milliseconds. Yeah, there we go. As far as the monitors, that's all I got. Make sure you go check out some of the other videos about their settings, whether it's the FOV, sensitivity, or the controller that they use. I posted all of that, so definitely go give that a watch if you're interested. Also, let me know down in the comments what other settings you'd like for me to go over that the pros use. I think I had a request for the dead zone, so that'll probably be next, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Also, like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.